Podcast Network. Hockey is more than a game, it's a lifestyle. It's you, the diehard supportive fans, your favorite players who are on the team you cheer for, and the organization who supports them.
The companies that make your gear, bags, and beer league sweaters. The hockey moms and hockey dads, and everything else that makes this house of hockey your home. Come on in. I'm Breezy.
And I'm Rae.
And this is our house.
Welcome to the House of Hockey podcast, episode 127. I'm one of your hosts, Rae.
And I'm your other host, Breezy.
And I had a hell of a night last night, which we will get into. I went to the Bruins Blackhawks game and I took a ton of notes. We had a great time. I got some great stories to share. The Blackhawks did lose. I did have to text Breezy halfway through the game for some positive inspiration and to boost my morale. But we will get to that. We've got a lot to cover.
Yeah, we do. I did not have a wild night last night. I virtually watched the Preds game and the Kings game, and that was pretty much it.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Where do you want to start?
Let's start with the Devils. Those guys, handsome little Devils. 12-game win streak.
We're even saying that? Let's start with the Devils. It's insane.
That is funny.
12-game win streak. Go ahead.
12-game win streak. These guys are on fire. I was watching TikTok. I love TikTok. I have an obsession with TikTok, first of all. But some guy on TikTok was like at the like when you can be at the tunnel when like players go out for like whatever. Some guy was standing there and he was like basically begging some players to like take it easy on the Leafs, and all the Devils are just sitting there just like laughing, like shaking their heads, and he's like, you can't score a goal tonight, you can't score a goal tonight, but you can have an assist. He's like, oh, I can have an assist tonight? Okay. And he's like, but take it easy. He goes, I'll take it easy, but as long as we win, we're fine. And the guy goes, no.
No. Oh my God, I gotta watch this. That's hysterical.
It's so funny.
I read a stat last night, I think, that said that the Devils are the only team ever to win on road trips across Canada. Like they swept all the Canadian teams. Like they played like the 3 games and they won all 3. And I think that was some super weird fact. I'm close, I think, but either way, they are breaking records. They're on a 12-game win streak. They're unstoppable. They've got an incredible person running their social media.
The video was funny too.
Do you want to share in case nobody saw it?
Yeah. So Dougie Hamilton, there was like a joke. One of their marketing guys walked over and was asking where the admin guy was. And one guy goes, oh, in there. And it's Dougie Hamilton. And he says that he's making some fire memes. And you could tell that he was like kind of awkward on camera, but like at the same time, pretty funny.
So good. So good. Also so good was the custom jacket that was made for Phil the Thrill Kessel in Las Vegas. That jacket, oh my gosh. I'm sure you guys, you probably saw this, but the Golden Knights made him this custom sort of like members only style jacket. And it had one for his 1000th consecutive game. And it has all the 1000s on it. And it says Feel the Thrill on the back. And it's in Vegas Golden Knights colors. What did you think of that jacket?
I think it looks like a Backstreet Boy jacket. Straight up. Something like AJ would be like rocking on the stage or something. I don't even know. It's wild. It's definitely a Vegas jacket for sure.
It's a little tacky.
A little bit.
It's a little too much on there.
I think it's definitely a little too much for my liking. I don't know if Phil would even, I can't even see him wanting to wear it.
No,
but I mean, I don't know the guy personally, so
newsflash, you don't?
people.
I mean, that's something you put in a frame in a shadow box and, hang up in your basement of your couple $1 million home, right?
Yeah. If you
It
hang it up.
was,
I don't know. I'm not a
I would
fan.
hang it up. I would hang it
You would
up.
hang it up.
Yeah, it's just the memory and the like who came up with the concept and who designed it and like did they get player input? Like I have a lot of questions, guys. And the social media, they don't share the answers to these questions and it drives me a little nuts. But
Yeah. Ah, it happens.
yeah. Also, something to talk about is that the St. Louis Blues had their first ever mom's trip.
They did. I saw
Mom's,
it. It was
yeah.
super funny. There was also a video, I think it was on TikTok again. I should just be sponsored by TikTok at this point. Where like one of the moms was like hanging up like the jerseys and
Okay,
like
Ringo.
flattening them out.
Wait, did you see Ringo was just looking at his portrait? I'm sorry.
That was
Ringo just
funny.
went up to his portrait and was sniffing it.
He's like,
Sorry.
that's me. But one of the moms was like organizing like the locker area and like making sure that the jersey was like all hung up. And like one of the other moms was sitting there like, stop.
Yeah. What are you doing? These are grown
It was funny.
kids.
Yeah.
It was
True
fun to
mom
see
fashion.
them. Yeah, they looked like they were having a great time. And I guess
Hmm.
Ryan O'Reilly's mom is a real tough cookie and she's very emotional and invested in the game and watching and cheering for her son and is not to be messed with. And I think that's pretty great.
Yeah. I mean, well, we knew how Ryan trained growing up and his brothers. So I could imagine that the mom would be a bit of a stickler.
Yeah, exactly. They were playing cards on the plane. What else were they doing? What else did they make the moms do? I don't remember.
Like try on the gear, like their son's gear and like take pictures in it, which I'm sure they loved that.
I'm sure it smells just phenomenal too.
Yeah.
But
All
yeah, it was
good.
good to see another mom's trip after we talked to a hockey mom of the Pittsburgh Penguins who've only
Hmm.
ever had one mom's trip. And there is high demand for the moms to have their own trips as well as the dads. So hopefully this kickstarts a little trend here for the other
Yeah,
teams to bring the moms in and have a good time.
definitely. Who do you think has more fun, the moms or the dads? For like the player's point of view, like, do you think you'd have more fun with like your mom or your dad on the road with you?
I think the dads,
I think so
I think
too.
it's just different with the moms.
I think so.
It's a
But
different
like,
element.
it's also like maybe like having your mom at like certain games, like a certain kind of road trip, you know? But I just
You
wonder
could
like what
totally have
arena.
fun with your mom for
Oh
sure. I
yeah,
mean,
definitely.
those moms throw down. If they're hockey moms,
Oh yeah.
they've they're tough. They've been through it all. They drove those kids to practice at the crack of dawn and are like cleaning the stinkiest gear of all. Like they're tough and they probably know how to have a good time, but I don't know. I think it's a little different. And I think a relationship with a son and a mom is different
Hmm.
than a daughter and a mom. And it just
Yeah.
has a different elements. But again, that doesn't really mean anything. There might be some players who are super close with their mom and not their dad. And like
Yeah.
they want to throw back shots with mom, like doing Jaeger bombs or whatever the kids do these days, and just
That would be
ripping have a good time.
so funny. I also think it'd be really funny to see like a wives trip. Like, that would be
Oh,
wild.
I don't know if the league would do that. What
Well,
about
I
like
mean,
a feat like the kid, like if they brought the kids and stuff? I think there'd probably be, I don't know, that might be a lot
but I feel like the wives would like get rowdy and turn up, and it would be so fun to watch.
for sure. For sure. The wives, for sure. Like wives and
Yeah.
girlfriends.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah.
I think they kind of already do that anyway, don't they? Don't
I
they
think
do that
some
at
of
like
them,
every game or at least
I
home
think so.
games?
No, but like traveling, like
Yeah.
go on like a 3-game road trip or something. I don't know. I just feel like you would have like, can you imagine Carly, like the stories Carly would bring back?
Oh my God. She'd be the life of the party, Carly Zucker. I want this to happen. Like she
Yeah.
should be in charge. She should set up the wives and girlfriend officially team certified trip.
Yeah.
She would have
That would
it
be
decked
funny.
out though.
She
She would
would.
have everything decorated. The airplane would be decorated and themed. I mean, it would be pretty cool.
It would be.
But I
Oh,
think the teams would probably have a little tough time publicizing that
yeah,
for
probably.
a lot of
But
reasons. I don't know. And maybe the players wouldn't want to put their significant others in such a spotlight, you know,
yeah, probably not. Hey,
or
one can
maybe
dream, right?
even yes. We'll have to shoot Carly a message and suggest this idea and have her run it through the Penguins organization and see
I
what they have
know.
to say.
I just feel like her and Megan Carter would like really throw like a really good trip, especially going to like Vegas or something.
Oh man. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. All right.
You know, they would be out longer than the boys would. The boys would come and the girls would just be taking over and they would be like, we got to get
Yeah.
out of here. We got
One of them would for sure end up in the fountain for sure.
yes. Excellent idea.
Yeah.
What's this Zegras content here? He's tired of losing.
Yeah. I saw a video of him. He post-game interview, he looked very distraught. He looked very upset in pure Zegras surfer boy emotions. Pretty disappointed, kind of, talking. Tired of losing games like this. It sucks. Um, I mean, they're not doing well, and I think he has high expectations for himself. I think a lot of people have high expectations for him. Super talented, but they just can't seem to get their flow going. So, interesting that someone like Zegras, who's always happy and very what's the word I'm looking for? Like positive all the time, I guess,
Yeah.
to show such disappointment in a post game interview. And not that it's like uncommon, but um, I just curious to where his head is in the future, at least.
I gotta say, for someone who's pretty fresh in the league, to be tired of losing already, I kind of don't have a lot of sympathy for the kid.
No,
And you gotta like welcome to the show, baby. This is what it is. This is Get ready, buckle up. It's going to be a long road in this league as a professional, and you're not always going to be winning games, and you're not always going to
right,
be happy. And I kind of don't like that he's saying those things in the post game pressers. Like, you can say, you're frustrated with how you guys played, and we got, give me that answer. Give me like, where
right,
is the guy on the team who's been there for a long time who's telling him, you know, you don't have the right to say this.
right.
You
I
you don't
mean,
even know.
Getzloff's
You don't
gone.
even know.
Yeah. Especially I just pulled it up that they lost 3-2. So I mean it was a close game, but it wasn't like a blowout.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Very interesting.
Yeah,
Very interesting. I shared the clip with you in our shared thing. So check it out. Let me know what you
okay.
think of it, his tone is. Maybe we could share it here too. We'll see.
Yeah, Ringo's eating something. Yeah, I you could be disappointed for sure, but there's a way to say that. And Ringo, what are you eating? Hold on a second. What do you have in your mouth? No, we don't eat that. I don't know what that is. It's disgusting, but we don't eat that. Okay. Sorry.
It's okay.
Always something with this one. It's always something. It's not the ball and the electric cord. It's who knows what I just pulled out of his mouth.
Oh
That's what I have to
man.
say about Zegras. What's
Yeah.
happening with Yanni Gourde?
Oh, another video again, TikTok. Gosh,
Hashtag not an ad should be an
I
ad.
I try to refrain from telling you that the Zegras video was a TikTok video as well. That was a TikTok video. So I got 4 TikTok videos right here. Yeah, Gord, number one hype man. We will have to. I try to share this to at least like our story or something. But he is the ultimate hype man on the bench. Much like I feel like a lot of the other guys are too throughout the league. But I just love when they're mic'd up and they have like cameras on the players and you see their reactions when there's good plays going and goals being scored. And just his reactions and the way that he was responding to things. I watched the video probably 100 times. Like it brought me so much joy.
Again, I'm gonna have to watch that. Didn't get a chance to watch that yet, but
Yeah. Shared drive. I got you.
we love a hype man on the bench who really gets the team and their energy going.
And
Speaking of
Seattle's
somebody
doing
who
good too, so it's good to see.
there's something I have to talk about, and then I'll tell more about my experience at the Bruins game. But I do have to say that the Bruins have that something je ne sais quoi thing happening where there is a bond with those guys. Foligno is the guy. He is like the glue in there that they've been needing. And the way the goalies chest bump each other after the game and the excitement and the energy they have is something special. I hate saying that, but I have to call it out when it's true. And they've got that something. And that goes to what you were saying about Yanni Gourde being the hype guy, having that energy, that excitement, that chemistry with your teammates and on the bench and, in the locker room. We talk about this all the time here, how important that is. And in contrast, the Blackhawks did not have that. Nobody was smiling during warm-ups. Nobody was happy. Nobody was having a good time. It's like,
You gotta have fun. Gotta
yeah,
have fun.
yeah, you do. Okay, I have a confession.
Okay.
I totally lied last week about being at my first ECHL hockey game when I went to
Oh.
the Mariners game. I realized that was not my first ECHL game. It was my second. The first ECHL game I ever went to was when I lived in Orlando and I went to a Solar Bears game. Who now,
Oh,
friend of the pod, Sean Sidlowski plays for. Shout out to the
that is
Solar
true.
Bears. Yeah, so I have been,
So you lied.
and I lied.
You lied to us.
And I'm really sorry, everybody. That was not my intention. I
I'm gonna lose
completely
sleep over this
forgot.
one.
Just like you're going to lose sleep over Mangiapane.
Yes. That was so funny. I was I don't know if anybody remembers, but I don't even know how long ago that was when you were talking about like getting a name stuck in your head. And I was like, I had someone's name stuck in my head too, but I couldn't remember. And this past week, the Kings were playing the Flames, and Mangiapane kept pulling it. Like the first I heard, I was like, "That's the name." So I text Ray right away, and I was like, "It's Mangiapane," and she goes, "What? Like, what are you talking about?" I was like, "That's the name I had stuck in my head."
I Googled it. I was like, what is a Mangiapane? What does Mangiapane mean? I was like, what is she saying to me? And it was like,
Like, is this an
he's,
Italian dish?
yeah, no, he's a professional hockey player. And I was like, oh,
Oh man, too funny.
this is so good. So if
It's
anybody,
such a good
if
name.
it is, if anybody was concerned about the word that Breezy had stuck in her head weeks ago, that was what it was.
Yeah, finally came back to me.
It did. Um, why is Pete Davidson all up in my NHL shit in my social feeds? What the hell is he doing there? Why is he there? Why are the Preds tweeting this nonsense about Pete's going to steal your girl? Get out of here. You don't belong in this league. I don't want any part of you. Just stay away. Go watch basketball or something. I don't need you here. I don't need this. I don't care about Emily Ratajkowski or whoever she is. Why is he here? What is he doing? Why is he in the NHL?
I love Pete Davidson.
Oh, but what's he doing?
Funny.
Why are the Preds tweeting these random things about him? Like buy tickets or Pete will. What am I missing? What's happening?
So Pete is the very straight shooter, nothing special about the guy really, right? But he ends up getting all of these like very attractive girlfriends or like well-established girlfriends, and it's like a common thing now that like he could just get whatever he wants. And Emily, whatever her last name is, just went through a divorce. Obviously Kim Kardashian right before going through a divorce, so he keeps stealing the girls. He's a smooth roller. The guy is so funny. I mean, I don't know what you want me to say, but I love the guy.
Oh, I like my world separate. I only like certain people who have a reason to be in our hockey world,
but
such
he's a
as
big
John
Islanders
Hamm.
fan. Big Islanders fan.
Yeah, but nobody knew who Pete Davidson was until Kim Kardashian. So,
no,
in the big scheme, like in the grand world,
Ariana Grande. I think that's when people really started figuring out who he was.
She dated Pete?
They were engaged.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they got engaged after like dating for like 2 months or something like that. He's on SNL. I mean, he's a big guy.
Just stay in your lane, Pete. That's all I gotta say. This week's episode of the House of Hockey podcast is brought to you by NFL Sundays are only getting better, and so are the incredible offers at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 on any NFL team to win and get $200 in free bets if they do. Check this out. Right now, everyone can earn up to a 100% boost with DraftKings stepped up same game parlays. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app, place a same game parlay, and combine multiple bets like which team will win, player props, and point totals. With payouts bigger than ever, DraftKings Sportsbook is my go-to when betting on the NFL. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code THPN, that's THPN for the Hockey Podcast Network, and place a $5 pregame moneyline bet to get $200 in free bets if your team wins. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Make sure you use code THPN. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. Have you shopped at Pure Hockey? They are America's largest hockey retailer with dozens of stores and the option to shop online. If you or any of your kids play hockey, Pure Hockey is the place to find just about all of your equipment, skates, sticks, gear, bags, jerseys, and accessories. Plus, Pure Hockey is one of our affiliate partners. Next time you break your hockey stick or your kid grows out of his skates, why not check out purehockey.com? While you are looking for hockey equipment, you can also browse around for merchandise from your favorite NHL team, you know who Breezy's and mine are, and make gift giving even easier for your hockey-loving friends and family. And do us a favor, use our special link for purehockey.com when you browse the site and make a purchase, because we'll receive a small commission, which helps me and Breezy create this podcast. Head to the episode's show notes for the special direct link to shop at purehockey.com. this past week, I had a last minute work gig in Baltimore, Maryland. And I flew in and they had hair and makeup for me. And the hair and makeup woman, Colleen, she's incredible. She's awesome. We're gabbing, we're getting our life stories out while she does my hair and makeup. And at the end of the shoot, I follow her on social and I start scrolling her Insta. The first picture I see is a picture of Eddie Olczyk broadcasting, and I flipped out and I blew up her text. I was like, you know Eddie O? You know Catherine Tappan? You do all their makeups? I'm obsessed. I love hockey. I have a hockey podcast. Eddie O played for my team. He's the best. He's one of the best broadcasters in the business. Tell me everything. And she's like, you are so funny. I can't believe it. I'm like, your makeup brushes touched Eddie O's face and they touched my face. I've basically touched Eddie Olczyk and given him a hug, cheek to cheek with Eddie Olczyk right here. She's like, you are insane. I said, just be glad that I didn't figure this out earlier in the day, or else I would have peppered you nonstop with questions all day long about the hockey guys. She's like, she probably was thinking, yeah, I'm really glad that I didn't know this earlier.
She probably has you marked down as like the client to never work on ever again.
Ever. Never. Yeah. Or else she's just going to ask me. She goes, oh, I'm going to see Eddie O tomorrow night. I'll tell him you say hi. I said, please do tell him I send my best regards. That his son's doing a great job in Seattle and is just as talented. But it was pretty funny. I couldn't believe it.
That is awesome.
I am 1 degree of separation from Eddie Olczyk now.
Yeah. I mean, you definitely have a different little glow to you today. So
thanks.
You're welcome.
It was pretty crazy. Marian Hossa's number is being retired by the Blackhawks today. We're recording this on Sunday. Can't wait to watch the ceremony tonight. They're retiring number 81. He's the only Blackhawk to have ever worn 81. They're retiring it in the rafters of the Madhouse on Madison, also known as the United Center. The boys, though, the Blackhawks have been on a 3-game road trip, I think, and they obviously just left Boston last night. They're back in Chicago. They got another night game against, they're playing Pittsburgh tonight for Hossa's retirement ceremony, which is pretty fitting because Hossa did spend some time in Pittsburgh. So I'm sure there will be lots of stick taps all around. And he's an incredible player. If you look at his stats, he's unbelievable. The guy has had an incredible career in the league, cut short by a skin issue that he talked about when he was on Chicklets and then in his new book that's out. And it really was just really rough on him. And you hate to see that, but he had a hell of a career. I'm glad he got his cups with the Blackhawks and then he finally got his cups. And I'm lucky enough to have seen the guy play in a Blackhawks jersey.
Yeah. Great career. That's gonna be good. I should tune into that game tonight. Be good to see. Although actually, you know what? I will say one thing.
What?
This is gonna be really funny, actually. I went to a concert this past week.
And I saw, who'd you see?
Whiskey Myers. They're one of my favorites. I love them. If you haven't heard of them, you should listen to them. They are phenomenal and they are so good live. They're like, oh, I love them. I listen to them every single day. Like, I don't get tired of their crap. It's stupid. Anyway, so while we were there, it was me and my friend, and we made friends with people next to us, as we usually do at this venue, because this venue is super small. It's my favorite venue in all of LA, and it's right across the street from Staples Center. It's right next to venue? It's called the Novo. So it's upstairs and it's right next to the bowling alley. It's amazing. The best venue. So it's small. And it's like all like general admission on the bottom, and then there's seats along the top if you want it. So every time we go, we always like make friends around with the people around us, and we always like kind of just like look out for one another. So that's what we did. And we ended up meeting this girl and she was with with three other guys. And when we find out that she's with her son, who's a Marine, and her other son is a firefighter. He's like training to be a firefighter, and her husband. And so we were hanging out with them all night, like just having a great old time, laughing, dancing, singing, all that stuff. So we go to leave, and usually when you like make friends with people at a place, like you guys just leave, like part ways. You don't like walk out with one another. Well, we walked out with each other, and one of them was like, the mom goes, "Do you come here like often?" Like, like, and I was like, "Yeah, we come here often." I was like, we go to a lot of Kings games. Do you guys like hockey? And the son, who's a firefighter, who wanted nothing to do with us the entire night, first of all, started yelling at me, saying, "Hockey sucks. Hockey's the worst sport. You suck." And I was just like, "What? What did I do?" And I
He's
looked at my friend.
wrong. You're
I was like,
wrong.
I was like, "Time to go." And she goes, "Time to go." We just
He's wrong, first of all.
he's wrong, first of all. And I'm like, first of all, why are you attacking just
You.
me? But why are you so angry at the sport?
Yeah, what happened? Did you try out for your hockey team in grammar school and get cut? Or what happened, man? Like, take it, get it together. Because of all
Never.
the people I have talked to about whenever I mention hockey,
Yeah,
nobody has ever said, I hate watching hockey. It's the worst sport in the world.
I know.
No one's ever said that to me.
We didn't like say anything to the guy to like make him mad, and all of a sudden he was just like,
You're lucky I wasn't there, because
I
I
know.
would have had words with that guy.
You would have.
This is a perfect segue into my experience with the Bruins, because
All right, let's hear it.
I get there for pregame skate. We're hauling ass. I went with a friend of mine. We were hauling ass from the parking garage in the freezing cold wind. We get there. I get a perfect spot on the glass, right across from the bench. There's a Blackhawks fan with a sign that says, "Happy birthday, Patrick Kane." It was his birthday. And I thought, perfect. I'm going to park up right next to her. Patty's going to see the sign. This is going to be great. Sure enough, Patty Kane sees the girl and her birthday sign and me next to her in my bright red jersey, tosses a puck over. I filmed the whole thing. The girl was shaken, in like on the verge of tears. Couldn't believe she got a puck from Kane. She was like the cutest thing. I forget her name, but she was like the sweetest girl in the world. And then the other guys, they're still warming up. They're tossing pucks over. There's a bunch of kids. One of the Blackhawks, I don't remember who it was because it was such a panic that they were trying to see who hadn't got a puck. And the girl pointed to me. And I was like, yeah, me. I mean, I want a puck. And he tosses the puck over. I reach up. It tips my fingernail, bounces off my finger behind me. I turn around and I yell, "That's my puck." And this guy is not with this kid, but all of a sudden there's a child there with this tiny sign that says, "My 12th birthday. Can I have a puck?" He was a freaking Bruins fan. And the adult gave the puck to the little kid. And I was like, "That's my puck. No, that's mine." That I literally am yelling at a child. And I'm like, "No, that's my puck. That was for me. You need to give me that." And he just looks at me like I'm crazy and hands the puck to the little kid. And thank God my friend next to me was like, it's a little kid. It's okay. It was his birthday. I'm like, but he got a puck from a Blackhawk. He shouldn't even want that puck. That's not his team. He got a puck. No, that's for me. He's like, it's okay. I'm like, all right, you're right. He's a little kid. But that was for me. And my friend's like, "I will say that puck was intended for you. And that kid came out of nowhere. And I didn't see that kid the whole time. And all of a sudden, there's this little kid like 8 rows back. I'm on the glass. This kid's like 5 rows behind me." I almost fought a little kid for a puck that I actually don't really care about, but it would have been cool to have, especially if it was
Yeah,
like actually intended for me. Finally,
right.
I do the goodwill service acts for two women who are dying for pucks from their favorite players. And I finally get one, just not even from anybody special on the team. And it goes to a little kid who's a freaking Bruins fan.
I know. Because you gave up a puck from your boy Matt Barzal, and you gave up a puck from
From
Patrick
Patrick
Kane.
Kane.
You're very deserving of a puck.
So why isn't it fair for me to still have the opportunity to get one?
That is
And
true.
that kid should have gotten there earlier. And where's his parents? And why aren't his parents putting him up against the glass in the right spot? This is not my problem. And this is not my fault. I should have snatched that puck out of that kid's hand. But then I would
You
have
should
felt
have.
like a horrible person.
Yeah, that would have been bad. You probably would have ended up on TikTok.
And yeah, and kicked out of the arena. And so I wasn't
Yeah.
going for that. I went to the restroom in between one of the periods, and I'm drying my hands, and this girl comes up to me, Bruins fan, and she goes, I gotta give it to you. I got a lot of respect for you coming in here wearing your Blackhawks jersey and coming to a Bruins game. I was like, thank you. It's not that scary. And she's like, well, that's not what most people say. And I'm glad you're having a good time, but mad respect for you. She walked away. And then we were walking. So my friend was wearing a Chiefs jersey because he is a Penguins fan. And so we all know
Okay.
the rules. You can't wear your
Mm-hmm.
if your team's not playing. So Chiefs is neutral. So we're there. I'm in my Hawks jersey. He's in a Chiefs jersey. And this guy comes up to us and he's like, hey, I just got to say, I was walking in the arena with you guys when you came in, and now I see you again, and I just gotta tell you, you guys are awesome. You know, you in your Hawks jersey and you in the Chiefs jersey. Just yeah, that's right. That's awesome. It just gives us high fives and walks away. It's like,
That's cool.
great.
Such great experiences.
I had a great experience with the Bruins fans. Nobody did anything. And I got to say, before we walked in, I told my friend, I said, I'm a little nervous wearing my bright red Blackhawks jersey. And are you prepared to, you know, defend me, protect me, pull me back from fighting somebody with my words this game? And he was like, yeah. I think it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. And now, as we're walking up to TD Garden, I see 0 Blackhawks jerseys. And I'm panicking. And I'm going, Kevin, I think I'm the only one in a Blackhawks jersey here. Am I the only Blackhawks fan here? Am I the only one? I'm scared. I think I might have to take my jersey off. And he's like, oh, no, there's one right there. I'm like, one. All right. Okay, we're
One other.
okay. One other. There really wasn't that many. We're a traveling fan base, and we're all
Yeah.
over. There really weren't as many as I thought there would be in Boston, especially being an original 6.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody threw anything at me. Nobody hit me. I didn't get in any fights except with a 12-year-old kid. It was good.
That's good.
It was good. It was
I'm
good.
glad you had a good time.
Yeah. Oh, and
Despite
then
your mid-game text that you sent me, but
I know we were playing, guys. We played horrible. It was horrible, and I was really getting defeated. And Breezy had to pump me up and tell me that you're at a game, you're seeing your boys, you're wearing a fire jersey, you're having a great time. I was like, yeah,
that's
we're
right.
having a great time. She's right. I'm having a great time. We suck. It's horrible. They have something they call the concourse a loge.
Lodge?
No,
Loge?
loge. LOGE. And it's a private box or enclosure in a theater, the front section of the first lobby in a theater, a tier of seating in an arena or stadium, typically between the upper and lower decks.
Okay.
which is also known as the concourse, but they call
Right.
it the Loge there. And I guess they call it that at Fenway as well. That's like what it's called. They were like, oh, just go up to
Okay.
Loge. And I looked at my friend, I'm like, well, that must be the concourse. Is that where we want to go? Is that how we get down to the ice to go watch warmups? And I'll
Yeah.
figure it out. So that was
Wow.
different. The Bruins obviously dominated. We lost 6-1. We fell apart. Blackhawks had a solid 2 periods. Peter Mrazek, our goalie for the night, faced 41 shots on goal, I think, and we only had we ended up with like 15 or 18 shots on goal. It was
Hmm.
despicable. We fell apart in the third. No one booed me. All the fans were nice.
How were the
Um,
reverse retro jerseys in person? Oh
I was
boy,
really
here we
mad,
go.
Breezy, when I saw that tonight was the night that was the night they were debuting. The Blackhawks were debuting the reverse retros. I was like, of course, the one game I go to, they're wearing the jersey I can't stand. And I don't
Not
love
better in
it.
person?
Not better in person. It's hard to read the numbers on the back because of the lines that go through it. But the only positive thing I will say is that the socks actually look cool with the stripes on it, because then when you put your tape on, you can't see the tape if you use clear tape, and
Mm.
it goes with the lines, and it's kind of a cool look in that way. But that's all I could say about that.
Well, I still am happy that you went and you had a good time, regardless of if you stuttered on having a good time.
Listen, I love going to the games. This is the perspective I had for the first time in a long time being a Blackhawks fan. Knowing that you're going to a game where they're going to lose is a
Hmm.
very challenging mental place to be in. I love
Yeah.
my team. I am not gonna ever stop cheering for them, or being a fan and supporting them. But when you know that you're going to a game where they're gonna get their asses handed to them, it's really hard to be excited to watch them lose. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, all your teams are contenders, and like you can go into any game. Yeah, you can. They all have.
No.
All right, maybe not the Preds right now, but I mean, there's at least, you've got 500 teams to pick from, so that when you are wanting to have the experience and you want to see your boys and you want them to do well, but you set your expectations at a realistic place, it's just a different experience. And it's
Yeah.
different being that I was at an away game and not at a
Hmm.
home game. When you go to
Yeah.
a home game, even when you're bad, you at least know you're going to have a good time and you're with all your other fellow fans, and
Hmm.
it's a different thing. So it was great. It was great. I have nothing bad to say aside from the fact that we're not doing
Yeah.
well, and it's hard to watch a player like Kane have to clean up the messes of the other players. Like, he made more defensive plays than offensive plays. And that's not his job, but he's filling the roles that he needs to for the
Hmm.
team and for the current players. And it's very clear that he's been instructed to play a certain way, because he's not playing like the Kane that I know. And it's just hard to see. It's just hard to see. It's sad. It's like disappointing. You don't want that for some of these guys who've played and had these incredible careers. And I mean, I know that's just how it goes, but it was just a different experience.
I mean, I get it. I mean, when I went to the stadium series, it was like I'm traveling, across the
Right.
country for the Preds to play the Lightning, Stanley Cup champs. It's probably not going to go very well for the Preds, but it's still a good atmosphere. It's still a cool thing to be a part of. Um, Very expensive, obviously, for traveling. tickets, the stay, the rental car. But
Right.
yeah, I mean, when you go, you're like, oh, they're probably gonna lose, but you still need to have a good time. So I get it.
I did. I did. I had a very good time. I had a good experience. I enjoyed talking to the Bruins fans that I did.
Hmm.
That stuff I enjoy. I really enjoy connecting with them and hearing their perspectives about their
Yeah.
fan base and their fandom and
Hmm.
watching the Bruins play in this season. It could be I could be watching a Stanley Cup championship team right now, or
Yeah,
at least,
very much.
conference final team or something, and okay, happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving, and we'll chat next week.
Thanks for coming over to our House of Hockey podcast and hanging out with us. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode. And in the meantime, you can follow us